Zoharan Mandani, his lead is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The dominant lead in the latest New York City Mayoral poll shows that even more bad news for the rivals. Okay, so more bad news for the rivals. Now, what does that mean? More bad news for the rivals. Let's read through some of these things here. Mamdani holds a dominant 20-point lead in the race, bolstered by majority support from Black, Latino, and Asian voters, according to a new poll released Tuesday. Mamdani's leads independent candidate and former Governor Cuomo 45-25, bam, 20-point lead. On Curtis Sliwa, he trails by 9%. He's at 9%. And then Adams is at 8%. It's just not looking good, the way it's going right now. And Mamdani building support among Black and Hispanic voters since his huge victory in June. Democratic Party surged over Cuomo with a slew of other candidates. Mamdani now leads Cuomo better than 2-1. And some 53% of Black voters support Mamdani compared to 21% of Cuomo and 10% of Adams. Black voters are choosing Mamdani over Adams, and Adams is Black, okay? So we're not talking like a Sammy Sosa situation here. Even though Mamdani is not Black, they're supporting him more. And Adams, who was he was there in New York, he was a cop. They're not supporting him. They're going for Mamdani. And on top of this, Sliwa had a few things to say, and Adams came out, and Adams' campaign disappearing act his fifth day as insiders wonder if he's quiet quitting New York City mayoral race, and he's going to be stepping away. And a lot of people are saying this guy's going to be stepping away. And then Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, comes out and says the following here. He said he was offered money to quit. Go ahead, Rob.
Have you seen Eric Adams? We're 40 days out of a campaign, and he has been invisible on the campaign trail. So I'm sure he's in the process of trying to figure out if the price is right for him to drop out. In reference to myself, these overtures were made by people that I've known over the years. They're obviously Cuomo supporters, and they offered millions of dollars for me to basically not run the campaign, to drop out.
Okay, so I guess the question becomes the following. Tom, you're pretty good at these types of things. Who drops out first? Who drops out second? And with a week out of November 4th election, which I think is November 4th, for probably the most important mayoral race New York City has seen in a long time, maybe ever, who do you think will be the final two candidates a week out of November 4th election?
A week out of November 4th, it'll be Curtis Sliwa and Mamdani.
You think Cuomo's going to drop out?
No. Excuse me. I think Cuomo's in. You're talking about the two majors. Cuomo's the independent, right?
So Cuomo's going to be in, Sliwa's going to be in, Mamdani's going to be in.
Right. 2 weeks, actually only about a week and a half before the horrible tragedy with Charlie Kirk, the assassination, what were we talking about? Eric Adams had met with the president. The president was reaching out to Eric Adams. The president was trying to broker something. And if you look at Eric Adams' 8 on Cuomo's 27 is still only 35. If it is true that among all voters that in a 4-horse race, Mamdani is sitting on 45, the rest of the table has to sweep with no breakage. Remember we talked about the independents on Bobby Kennedy, that 1 in 5 would actually go Biden. So you only ended up net 3. Remember, Pat?
Yeah.
5 for Bobby, 1 for Biden. So that means 1 for Trump cancels. So he only got 3, net 3 for Trump. This is the same kind of math you go here that I've been staring at. And the part of me, there's 2 things that that shock me. Trump won with the independent voters. Go to the bottom of the first column.
I know.
26% of the independent voters are going with Mamdani.
You know what's shocking on that as well, Tom?
That's the problem.
Oh, my God.
That is the
not
problem.
wrong. Independent voters, 26-23 lead over Cuomo, but that means Cuomo could beat him. But you know what's a shocking one for me? 27% of New York City Jewish voters want
I swear to you, I was looking at that. How?
27% of Jewish voters want Mamdani. And the only other community they're okay with is Cuomo. Look at the Republicans. 6% of Republicans want Mamdani. Okay, Tom, go look at the very liberal voters. What percentage of very liberal voters want Sliwa?
Zero.
How about Adams? 2%. But 6% of Republicans want Mamdani in New York?
Right.
Listen.
Those are New York Republicans,
If that,
right?
I said this at Jubilee. Let's get Mamdani and see what happens.
It's gonna.
Let's
Pat,
get Mamdani
The
and see
odds
what
are
happens.
he's going to, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
think,
at this point, the one thing said that if Sliwa and Adams dropped out, Cuomo could beat Mamdani.
I think so.
But who knows if that's going to happen. Go ahead.
And then I just want to make one point out. Like, and Sliwa, I think he has good intentions, and I wish he was better. But you know what it is? It's the beret. You cannot be wearing a red beret, and people are going to take you seriously. You're not a French chef.
Well, you know why he's doing it.
From
Is the
no,
Hells Angels.
no. But listen, you're not.
Right?
If he was wearing a Yankee fitted, I guarantee you the percentage would be up.
Do you know why he's doing it?
Bina.
Go ahead, Tom.
Because earlier in his life, he formed a group called the Guardian Angels, which were
Guardian
independent community protection squad.
Yes.
That when New York had such terrible crime. And you'll find pictures of him much, much younger with a whole
Yep.
tribe of people of all races.
Yes.
They were actually trying to come together, multiple races, to make communities safer at night.
Yeah.
It was legit. That sometimes they were armed. A lot of times they just had their red jackets and they had maybe a club or mace, and they didn't carry guns. So he's trying to remind people,
Yeah, but it's not working.
I was once for New York and here.
but-
I agree
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you, but
I
that's
get-
the whole point.
No, I get no, and I knew something about that, but what I'm saying is, bro, as a look, they want somebody that they could look at and be like, okay, this person's is political and whatever. It's not going to sell.
It's just the community watch.
Oh,
in a
God
busy
bless him for
city.
what he
Do you
did.
know just moment right here what just happened? Do you know what this means with this moment watching what just happened? You have to explain to Vinny why he's wearing a red beret. That means he has to explain to young voters
Thank
because
you.
young voters don't know why he's wearing that red beret.
Great point.
Exactly.
You know, like maybe he's thinking like, am I trying to connect with like Tim Pool audience? I don't know what he's doing. But to the average person, you don't know what's going on.
No, you're absolutely
The
right.
younger audience needs an explanation.
And I don't hear him. If you look at his stump speeches and stuff.
I'm not trying to be funny. I
no,
want
I'm
to
not
know
trying to
what-
be funny either.
I thought you were at
Where is
one
he out
point.
there that says, listen, we're coming to a dangerous New York. If this guy's elected, you're going to have a more dangerous New York. I grew up in the city. I formed a community watch group. And it says, you know, this red beret harkens back to a time where I, without a weapon, walked the streets of New York with my compatriots, trying to keep the streets safe at night.
Yeah.
And it says, and I want that same New York in the future. He's got to pull to the emotion of people to
yeah.
remember what it was.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I think at this point, Adam, let's
Well,
give the final thoughts
yeah,
before
here's
we move
my-
to the
my
next
thoughts.
Got to
story.
run the table now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to give a preemptive congratulations to the new mayor of New York City, Zoharan Mandani. Mr. Mayor, thank you for coming. What's going to unfold in the next 40 days is that Curtis Sliwa, who's at 1%, him and the Red Beret, they'll be gone. Respect to you. Boom, boom, boom. Then Eric Adams, who's now trending at somewhere below 1%. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your service. You're gone. Cuomo, who's somewhere at 10% in the odds. Sir, thank you for all your efforts you've done to make New York the state it is, but it's Mayor Mamdani's time. New York City, which was once the heart of capitalism in this country, is now the new home to progressive Islamist communism. Congratulations, New York City. I hope you get what you pay for. Now, here's the second point. You know, sometimes I'm actually anti-Semitic as well. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean?
You self-hating Jewish person, Adam?
Bingo.
You self-hating.
Some of the
Let him
worst,
go. I know what he's going to say.
Some of the worst people out there are the super liberal, progressive Jewish people. And this is from a moderate, somewhat conservative Jewish guy. I'm anti-Semitic against those mother suckers. I'm talking about the Bernie Sanders of the world, the George Soroses of the world. I wouldn't even say he's Jewish. I don't know if he's the devil, but they're certainly in touch. And Chuck Schumer's of the world. These people do not represent Judaism. They don't represent Israel. They represent themselves. It's much like when you see a Christian pastor who's talking about let's be inclusive and tolerant of the LGBT community. And then you have people being like, yeah, I don't know if that's what we need to be sending the messages in church. I don't know. The point is this. Certain people need to be called out. And if, 40%, 27% of Jewish voters in New York are the ones voting for Mamdani, hi guys, have a great life. Peace out.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a
Very interesting.
it is going to be a
4
very
years.
very interesting move in New York as they're going through this process. For her take if you or somebody you know, Rob, just put the link below if you don't mind. Put the link below if you want to nominate anybody. I got swamped by so many messages. I'll nominate myself. I'll nominate myself. I'll nominate myself. If you have anybody that you recommend, we now have a list of over 100 ladies that would like to be on Her Take. And we're excited about it. We're going to build that into a top show for 2027, 2028. And very, very excited about that show. And I think it's going to turn into something very special. We had a very good Zoom yesterday talking about what the plans are with the show. What happened? What happened, Tom?
No, what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. So, and so having said that, for those of you guys that would like to nominate somebody, you can simply go to this form, put their name down. And the biggest thing for us is, guys, this person needs to have influence. You know, some of you guys are putting some, look, I've never posted a video on YouTube before. I've never done anything, but I think I would be great. We need folks that have experience doing this. So if there's anybody you like that you want to nominate, put their names there. Or if it's yourself and you're somebody that you've done a lot of content and you want to be part of the show, we'd love to talk to you. We're looking for the host. We're looking for co-host. We're looking for co-hosts because we're going to have a rotation because a lot of people live in different places. But the person that would be the main host, we need that person to be in South Florida because we want to drive a lot of eyeballs to Her Take. This was one of the biggest weeks of eyeballs going to Her Take. And it's a phenomenal, phenomenal concept that we're excited about long term. So again, Rob, did you put the link in comment section in the description?
And it's also pinned. Yep.
Fantastic. Just go click on a link, nominate anybody you think would be good on that show. We would love to speak with them. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.